And we are back on the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey, producer Chris Daughtry, behind the scenes for today's live show. We will once again have a Madden live stream. Cowboys at the Panthers. No rain this time. Didn't want to do the rain after. I feel like that just led to less passing in that one. And that just isn't as entertaining as far as I'm concerned. So we'll have our Madden live stream, and we'll have some conversation of what we discussed earlier this morning. Of note, that is the Kyle Pitts trade stuff, which it's back again, even though the Falcons allegedly want a premium draft pick and they allegedly don't want to trade him and everything else on that front. So would you trade for Kyle Pitts? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. Would you trade for Pitts? It is the pinned poll as well. I lean no myself. Now, this could be a different conversation next year once he hits free agency, if he hits free agency. I don't really want to pay him almost $11 million when, frankly, the production is extremely similar to Jake Ferguson. The athletic traits are not, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit of the Moneyball scene of like, well, if he's such a great hitter, why doesn't he hit good? That's not good production. Is that worth $11 million for one season right now? I don't think so. Like the production against Ferguson, I mean, talking 14 yards in fewer games for Fergie. Better average per catch, but also like more drops and more targets and different quarterback situations. Like the quarterback play last year was not good in Atlanta. I do acknowledge that. But the last 1 year had a lot of Desmond Ridder. Other was Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix. Like I think you can easily tell yourself a story of, well, he'd be better at our spot. And I think he probably would be, at least a little bit better. But that is not a guarantee when you're giving up day 2 pick. Actually, day 2 pick if he gets moved. Then I still don't think he gets moved because the Falcons have Charlie Warner behind him. Day 2 pick and $11 million for maybe. I think next offseason, free agency, could be a different conversation there. So, again, we went more in depth on that earlier on today's show. Y for yes, N for no. All right, the Madden schedule coming up here. Cowboys are 5-0 somehow, which, is it realistic? No, I don't think so at all. But hey, the video game hath spoken type of deal. Then I will say it gets probably for the best that they're off to a good start. They kind of need a good start in real life because it's about to be Commanders, Broncos, Cardinals, Raiders, and then the gauntlet. And for us, mid to late July when we'll be simming the games, and then into the real games in August for the preseason. Like it's gonna be tough. I am excited to see how things play out in the real games, but not necessarily a guarantee on that front. So I am curious to see how it'll play out. It should be interesting here as we move forward. All right, Brendan Junaski? I've always thought I mispronounced your name, Brendan. I'm sorry. Are the Cowboys going to have joint practices, and if so, against whom? I believe it's pronounced Toomst, by the way. I haven't seen official details on their joint practices yet, but it would be extremely logical if they had joint practices going into that first preseason game against the Rams. Like that would make a lot of sense. That's the first preseason game for both teams. So I would not be surprised at all if that ended up being the case, if they get a couple of joint practices, 1 or 2 maybe, in against the Rams since they're both in the area. Like that, it's something Schotty's done, or McCarthy did, McVay did it. I'm sure Schotty would still be on board. Plus, if he's going to go all competition on him, boy, joint practice would actually build competition there. William Cook, who do you think, Austin Carey. How do you feel about the running back room? Who do you have feels the highest chance to break out, and what does that mean for the other guys in the future? I don't see them in pads, but what is your opinion? Good question, Austin. We'll do a full running back room breakdown later this week, by the way, so stay tuned for that video. I am cautiously optimistic. I'm not 100% certain that it's going to be great. I think there's a lot of hope and low-risk, high-reward guys, which especially like Sanders and Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue is probably a bit more on the hope side and maybe higher risk. My biggest concern is that all these low-risk, high-reward guys, they just don't work out. That's okay because there's low risk. But then if you don't get any reward, you're still stuck with that. So I'm hopeful that Jaden Blue can play a role. I think I feel pretty good about his role. I feel good about Hunter Lipke's role. But even those guys, like, that's still like 200-something touches shy of filling out your room. So you kind of need at least one of Miles Sanders or Javonte Williams to look pretty good. That's a key factor. Ecuador man, if Dak is so good, should he make Pitts better? I agree. The question I think you have to judge yourself is, even if Dak makes Pitts better, is that still worth the draft pick and the monetary value? Now, that's not to put it all on the quarterback, like the quarterback can't make the receiver catch if there's drop issues, right? Like we saw it with like Terrence Williams, right? Like that was, it's not really the quarterback's fault. It wasn't Romo, it wasn't Dak's fault necessarily. But in theory, yes, you're absolutely right. The same argument there is, okay, well, I think with Pitts in particular, you're paying the premium already. You're not getting the benefits of like the cheap contract with George Pickens. You're not getting the benefits of the cheap running back room and not giving up premium draft capital. Like, if you get the most out of Kyle Pitts, you still paid up to it. You're not getting any like deals in the end. Speaking of deals, the Super Chat menu on today's show. $5 into the George Pickens jersey raffle. Brendan, you're in there. $10 gets you 3 George Pickens jersey raffle entries. Austin Carey got the 3 for $10 on that front. We will do, at some point during this Madden Sim cycle, the 50-50 Venmo raffle. So $20 at What Going Downey if you get in on that one. At What Going Downey for the $20 for the 50-50 raffle. Already got one entry in there. We're going to get to at least 3, 5, 7, whatever it ends up being. $20 for a shot. Offer does still stand. The first $20 is 2 shots. $50 for a beer bong. Offer stands. The first $50 beer bong is 2 beer bongs. And if you want me to rock a custom Cowboys jersey like I am right now, the Bad Wolf 69 jersey, we will need a $500 Venmo, and then we'll wear it throughout the season, ship it out to you at the end of the year. The Week 6 Madden matchup, somehow the Cowboys are 5-0. Do I find it realistic? Not in the slightest. Carolina is 2-3, which actually, given their schedule, does feel pretty fair that they're kind of hovering around that potential spot. Cowboys on the road, I don't know what the Madden line would be, like Cowboys minus 6.5 probably, something like that. Maybe higher since they'd be undefeated. I don't know. All right, Daniel into the George Pickens jersey raffle entry. Think they will pick up a corner. I think they should bring back Gilmore. I would not be surprised if that happened. My gut tells me they want to get into training camp. And they want to see, a month and a half from now, really almost 2 months from now, where Savone Revel is at in his recovery. What maybe a better timeline for Diggs out, even though he's not going to be ready for week 1. How the nickel corner spot looks. Does someone outside of Elam and maybe Revel step on the outside? They kind of did that last year where they kind of got through July and went, okay, we need defensive tackle help. They did it, in years past. We're like, okay, we need safety. We went out and got Malik Hooker. They've done it with some linebackers. So I kind of think that, yeah, that they could use a corner. But I would be a little bit surprised if they didn't take their time and find someone and give the other guys a chance to show what they're able to do. All right, Madden Sim predictions. Who you got? I assume we're going to have all C's on this one because that just makes sense. C for the Cowboys, P for the Panthers. Let me know in the comments section of today's show who you have coming out in this one. C for Dallas, P for the Panthers. I almost said C for Carolina. That makes no sense. C for the Cowboys, P for the Panthers. Gets a little bit confusing there for some. P or C, sound off in the comments of today's show. Some updates on the Madden stats. It's Madden. This is obscenely unrealistic. Also screams video game of he's completing almost 82% of his passes for only 1,000 yards in 5 games because it's 7-minute quarters, so it's less there. 8 TDs, 0 interceptions. Also 5 rushing TDs with a bunch of kneel downs including. Javonte Williams is also, even though the Cowboys don't run the ball a lot, he's averaging 5 yards per carry. So that's kind of hilarious. And Dak's got 1,000 yards and 116 passes, so he's almost at 10 yards per attempt. It's just irresponsibly inaccurate efficiency is maybe the one there. Jake Ferguson leads the Cowboys in catches and yards, which is kind of crazy. Pickens leads them in touchdown catches this year. Lamb only had one catch last week for 7 yards. Thought he was about to take back the title from Pickens, but didn't do much there. Madden Tolbert also is playing pretty well. Madden Tolbert lives, man. Defensively, Mike had 3 sacks last week, if you did not tune in. So he is now back to 4.5 sacks through 5 games, back to actually making an impact. He was pretty quiet in that one. Kenneth Murray and Maurice Leofau, by the way, are both tied for the team lead in tackles at 33. I haven't decided who I'm going to make because Sanborn also plays a decent amount too. I think I'm going to lean towards Murray being the second linebacker once the Cowboys get DeMarvin Overshown back from injury in my fictitious sims. So, again, get your score predictions in for me of this one. Again, 7-minute quarters, so it is a little bit shorter in most cases. Not as I refuse to do a 2-hour stream. That just seems ridiculous and high point getting and everything there. So, print the score for me of the Cowboys against the Panthers. Cowboy fan 122 says 35-7. Lewis has 31-10. Herman says 36-10. Mike's got 42-14. Get your score predictions in for me in the comments of today's show. One time again here, the Super Chat menu, $5, George Pickens jersey raffle entry. $10 is 3 entries into the Pickens jersey raffle. $20 for the Venmo 50-50 raffle. That's at What Going Downey if you want in on that. We won't do it today. We'll do it at a date to be determined. $20 for a shot. First 20 is 2. $50 for the beer bong. First 50 is 2. Well, I got to be careful. I'm got an event tonight with my wife's work, so it's up to you guys how drunk I am for that when I show up. All right, they are semi-familiar with my game, so we'll see. So that's up to you guys if you want to get me drunk for that or not. $50 for the beer bong and a $500 Venmo. I'll rock a custom Cowboys jersey of your name and number choosing, and then we'll ship it out to you at the end of the season. A reminder of the Madden Sim rules. Injuries are turned off because that's lame. Like, nothing would be more boring, although maybe realistic, if Cowboys start the year 3-0 and then Dak tears an ACL and then it's Joe Milton for the rest of the season and people tuning in going, why is Joe Milton starting week 8? Just feels like a bad idea. Of note, though, because we know Diggs and Overshown are going to miss time, they are not available to begin the season. I'm going to bring them back later this year. I was kind of thinking around the bye week for both, or at least around the bye week for Overshown. Maybe I'll have an Overshown return game and then bring back Diggs a week or two later. I do have updated rosters, not coaches, so you will still see Madden Mike. 7-minute quarters, also flags turned down. I feel like it did a better job of turning the flags down this year because there were still a lot of flags last year against the Cowboys. I kept it at the same number. But maybe Madden just is dialed him back. Who's to say? All right, if you are ready for us to start today's live show, like the video, please and thank you. I would love to get to 69 likes because I am an immature child and I find it very fun. So like the video if you haven't already done so. We are sitting at 43 likes right now. 69 would almost get us to the 50% like ratio, which is always a good thing. It's fun to get there, not always able to get there, but it's good. So if you enjoyed our Madden Sims, if you like these for the content filler in June, we got you covered. Like the video for me, please, and thank you if you haven't already done so. All right, 61. I think we'll get to 69 in just a second. Let's get into it then. Cowboys at the Panthers. It is the Cowboys getting the ball first. I actually glad the Panthers are in the black. I did not pick that, but I do like those jerseys. That is Jaden Blue on the return. Going to get to at the 25. Madden imitating life, or life imitating Madden. Cowboys have been giving Jaden Blue work on returns, which I think is a good thing. And also way more fun than Wanya Thomas back there. So I call it an absolute win. Cowboys out on offense. That means Carolina will be getting the ball to begin the second half of action. See what Dallas does on this one. By the way, as producer Chris pointed out, it's gone now. They don't do it anymore. They heard my complaints and got rid of it. All right, Prescott in the shotgun here. Williams to his right. He will give it to Javonte. Big hole, and we'll pick up 6 on that one. Good job by the left side of the offensive line. 2nd and 4 here. I don't know why Mike's got a big bruise on the middle of his forehead now. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. No bad weather today, Steven. 2nd and 4 for the Cowboys. Dak will throw. Caught by Pickens right at the marker, but short. That will bring up 3rd and inches. Type in those 3s on 3rd down. Much better weather for this, I think it's like real-life October matchup in Carolina. Maybe a bit cool. 3rd and it's an inch. They go I-form set. Lipke is the fullback. They're going to give it to Williams, who cuts it back and I guess got the first down. That was... Forward progress was there, but then he lost yardage. Dave Canales is in shambles. Take the first down. Type in those 1s. Now Dak will go with empty personnel. 3 left, 2 right. Drops back, throws a quick slant, caught by Lamb, and Lamb will get the first down. Easy catch there for CeeDee. He's actually a bit behind him. Doesn't matter, caught it in stride. First down, Dallas. Type in those 1s. I don't know what Tasharon Wharton is doing to DJ Wanham, but he's like violently attacking his head. Prescott in the shotgun. It's a play-action pass. Dak has time, uncorks it downfield, and should have been picked again. I don't know why defenders in this game have like 0 catch. It should be like 4 dropped interceptions this year that should have been caught. That was Mike Jackson, the Cowboys legend, who absolutely should have picked off that pass. After the longest developing play-action pass is dropped and should have been picked. Dallas now on 2nd and 10. They'll give it to Javonte Williams, who's going to pick up about 4 on that one. So 3rd and 6. Key 3rd down coming up here. Third and 6, just shy of midfield. So like kind of in field goal range, frankly. As long as Dak can take another stupid sack. Prescott has time, throwing in the flat, caught, and a first down. Dallas connects with Javonte Williams to the 42-yard line. That's a first down pickup for Dallas. Good protection there by the Cowboys offense line. Dak had all day back there. So 1st and 10. Forgot to check if Clowney was still on this team or if I removed him from it, actually, now that I think about it. Dak on a slant, tight window, caught by Lamb for a gain of 8. So 2nd and 2 coming up now. I don't see him out there. 2nd and 2 coming up here for the Cowboys. Ball at the 33-yard line. Shotgun set again. Williams to the right of Prescott. This is a handoff. Williams running behind Tyler Smith. Breaks a tackle and is going to get taken down at the 21-yard line. We are just outside the red zone, so we will go for the 2-for-1 offer here. If the Cowboys score a TD on this drive, we'll do the standing 2-for-1 beer bong for the first 50, and I'll throw in a shot as well if we get a 50 before the Cowboys score on this drive. If it's a TD. Prescott to the end zone. Dropped interception again. Another horrible throw. I think that was Lathan Ransom, the rookie, who just like collides with another defender and it falls harmlessly incomplete. Daniel's got a $2 super chat. It's got the sticker, so thank you, Daniel. 2 should have been picks. Javonte Williams on the handoff is dancing around and will pick up 2. I don't know how those weren't intercepted, especially that last one. That one was an easy interception. The turnover-worthy play rate is high today, but no actual turnovers. So 3rd and 8 inside the red zone. Prescott in the shotgun. Screen. caught by Blue. Blue to the 10 and taken down inside the 10. It's actually Javonte Williams, sorry. Javonte on the screen takes it down inside the 7. Offer still stands. $50, I'll do 2 beer bongs and a shot in the order of your choosing. First and goal. Prescott will go to the shotgun. Williams to his right. 3 receivers, or Williams to his left. 3 receivers to his right. Pickens, single receiver left. It's a give to Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue is taken down at the 2. Blue is still searching in the Madden sim for his first touchdown of the season.
These running backs just cannot put their shoulder down and run somebody over.
They just try to juke. It's kind of weird. So, second and goal from the 2. Williams back in the game. Gets the handoff. Javonte does not get in. Third and goal from the 1 now. This is where I would just sneak it in real life, but, you know, the video game does not like sneaks. They're going to go shotgun, which I hate. Prescott in that shotgun set. Gives it to Williams. He is in, and the Cowboys score. Spam those TDs as Javonte Williams does a little celebration dance. Cowboys up early over the Panthers. Opening drive, touchdown drive for Williams, as we see the exact same highlight again, which is great job by Madden there. Spam those TDs in the comments section. That is the 3rd rushing touchdown of the day, or the season, for Javonte Williams. Type in those TDs. Dallas up early, 7-0, or 6-0, I should say, over Carolina. Extra point to come from Brandon Aubrey. That is up and good. 7-0, Cowboys up over Carolina. A reminder of the Super Chat menu items. $5, you are into our George Pickens jersey raffle. $10 gets you 3 entries into the Pickens jersey raffle. $20 Venmo, you're into our 50-50 raffle. That's at What Going Downey for the Venmo 50-50 raffle. The first shot is $20. I'll do 2 of them. First 50, I'll do 2 beer bongs. Then it's just 1 for each of those moving forward. Raheem Blackshear on the return for Carolina. Gets to about the 25, maybe a little bit past there, and is brought down. So Bryce Young will come out now on offense for the Panthers. I still have Chuba Hubbard as the starting back, but I do have Rico Dowdle as like the power back. So if they get goal line stuff, short yardage stuff, he'll be involved. Plus we'll see Tedero McMillan, almost a Cowboy legend. Didn't quite materialize that way. 1st and 10. From the 26-yard line. Bryce Young drops back, rolls, throws, defying physics, and it's incomplete. None of that play made a lick of sense. Not a single bit of it. 2nd and 10. From the 26-yard line. Trips left for Bryce Young. Drops back. Pressure coming. Goes down. It's a Micah Parsons sack. His 5th and a half on the season. Everyone spam sack in the comments section as Micah brings up a 3rd and very long now for Carolina. $10 from Trayvonte Johnson. Sorry, Trayvonte. You're 3 entries into the Pickens raffle. With trade Dak if we don't at least go to the playoffs this year. So I think the first thing I would want to know is, why didn't you go to the playoffs? Was this a Joe Burrow year in which the defense was dog water? In which case, no, obviously not. Was the head coach just terrible? No. Was Dak the single biggest reason? You can have the conversation then. You would eat a $90 million cap charge, though, if you didn't. So I would not get my hopes up there. 3rd down and 18. Young in the shotgun. Drops back. has some time, checks it down to Chuba Hubbard, brought down by Leafau. He picks up 7. That will force a punt for Carolina. We are already deep into the first quarter here. A lot of clock bled there by the Cowboys on that opening drive. Big time stop for Dallas. Turpin will now be back on the return. It is away. At the 30, Turpin will bring it out and get drilled and get to maybe the 37, 38-yard line. So after the opening drive score, the Cowboys offense with 18 seconds? I can barely tell. 18 seconds left in the first quarter. So maybe 1 or 2 plays. 2 if it's an incomplete pass. I just do this each time. They point each time. You do that. Prescott will go shotgun. Javonte Williams already has 1 touchdown on the day. It is a pass play. Quick's out, caught. Ferguson makes the catch, picks up 4, and that should bring us to the end of the first quarter. Here is the Super Chat menu. $5, you're into our George Pickens jersey raffle. $10, like Trevontae Johnson just did, gets you 3 George Pickens jersey raffle entries. A $20 Venmo at What Going Downey. You're into our 50-50 off-season raffle. $20 is a shot. The first 20, there's 0 so far. I will do 2 shots. First 50, I will do 2 beer bongs. There's been none so far. $5 Venmo for the custom Cowboys jersey. 2nd and 6. Prescott, 2 tight end package. Drops back. Out, caught, weird physics. They pick up 3 to Ferguson. I think that was Ferguson and not Schoonmaker. Well, actually, it might have been Schoonmaker given where Ferguson was on the replay, but who's to say if that's correct or not. 3rd and 3 coming up now. I was short of the sticks. No, they had a short pickup before that to Fergie. Blitz coming. Dak throws a slant. Caught by Lamb to midfield. First down, Dallas. Lamb getting involved for doing very little last week. Doing a lot more today. So 1st and 10. Cowboys already at midfield now. Jaden Blue checks in the game to the right of Prescott. Dak will drop back. Throws a quick one. Caught by Tolbert for a gain of 2. Almost a blaze hitch there where he barely even runs a route. So 2nd and 8 now. Reminder, I will do shots and beer bongs for 20s and 50s. I got a wife's work function tonight, but you want to get me drunk for it and see how it goes, that's fine with me. Up to you guys. Prescott hands it off to Williams up the middle. A huge chunk gain there. We'll call it about 16 yards. A first down for Dallas as Javonte Williams having himself a nice game. Type in those 1s. Cowboys now 1st and 10 at the 30. Prescott hands it off to Williams. Very little there. No gain. They tried to run a weird counter, and nobody got outside to help lead block for the counter. Carolina covered it up well. 2nd and 10. Ball at the Panthers' 32-yard line. So you're inside of a 50-yard field goal try right now if you had to go to it for Brandon Aubrey. Dak in the shotgun. Tight end left. It's a play action. Throw. Seam shot. Caught by Pickens. Cuts it up. Makes a man miss. And gets to the 14-yard line. Another fresh set of downs for Dallas. As a reminder, inside the red zone, if Dallas scores a TD and the $50 comes in beforehand, I will do 2 beer bongs and a shot for a 50. If it comes in before they score a TD, it is 1st and 10. Otherwise, I'll just do the normal 2 beer bongs. From the 14, Dak drops back, throws, touchdown, it's Pickens! Seam ball to Pickens. It's another TD for the newest edition. Williams and Pickens scoring today. That's Pickens' 5th receiving TD on the season. A great strike there from Dak. And the Cowboys up big over Carolina, at least by Madden standards, 13-0 early. I believe Dallas has more points then the Panthers have yards so far. 13-0. Yeah, because Carolina's got, what, -1 yards, right? Yeah, because they were in 4th and 11, I think, last time. Or maybe it was 4th and 9. But either way, they definitely have more. Aubrey on for the extra point here. Dak to Pickens. We're going to call it the Dickens connection. Sounds kind of dirty, but it's fun. I like it. 14-0. Dallas up over Carolina. Austin Carey delivers a 50-piece from Austin. There we go, Austin. I love it. We will do some beer bongs and some shots here. Everyone spam AC in the comments section. Kick is away. Grabbed at the 5 by Raheem Blackshear. He gets to about the 27-ish yard line. Austin Carey says, wouldn't it be great if we started the year this season and Dak is 80%? If Dak gets hurt midway, we would still make the playoffs? Or do you think we'd still make the playoffs? And that would also set off my injury concerns I already have. I also have injury concerns. Like, that's really my bigger ones. Like, it's been different things each year, but when they continuously appear, like, I can't always get on board with, it was a fluke, it was a fluke, if it's not, it's a consistent thing. I'll come back to that tomorrow on Austin after this play. Bryce Young, 1st and 10 for Carolina. Drops back to pass. Throws, caught, and it's a gain of 7. I think it is indeed Xavier Legette, 2nd and 3. Yeah, no, injuries are like my top concern because that's like, if it happens again, like, I don't know. Like, I get extremely concerned. It depends on what they're at. Like, if they start the year 5-0, they got to win like 4 games to make the playoffs, 5 games, so it's possible. But I'd still have concerns overall. And it'd be great if they started the year 5-0 with 80% completion rate. Be incredible. First down pickup on that run by Chuba Hubbard. First beer bong coming up. There we go. Get the air bubble out of there. There we go. 2 beer bongs and a shot. After this play. 1st and 10 for Hubbard. He's going to get the handoff. Stretch left. A lot of room to run. There goes Hubbard. Past the 35. Taken down by Donovan Wilson. There's that patented Cowboys run D. So, funny story. Olivia headbutted me. So I have a cut inside my gum, inside my lip. And it's just like very much irritated. Like it does not feel good. It's painful when I'm consuming things. Handoff again to Hubbard, dancing around. Nice bit of running. He picks up 5 on that one. I'll be honest though, guys. I did screw up. I forgot to start Mingo. I said I would, and then I forgot to. That's my bad. Maybe he'll get to play it anyway. All right, 2nd and 5, then another beer bong after this. Then a shot. Hubbard again, taken down from behind by Micah Parsons. No gain, 3rd down. Type in those 3s. Third and 5, and my apologies for not starting Mingo. Motion coming. Young in the shotgun. Drops back. Downfield. What a catch by Thielen that I want to see a replay on because that defied physics, I thought. I feel like that ball just like suctioned into him. What a strike from Young to Thielen. 1st and goal at the 8 now for Carolina. Inside of the 2-minute warning. Young in the shotgun. Motion coming to the left side. Young will drop back. Throws. Thielen taken down at the 2 by Maurice Liufau. And a shot. 2nd and goal. Young under center. Gives it to Hubbard, who's in. Touchdown, Carolina. So Panthers right back into it. Remember, Carolina gets the ball to begin the second half. (14-6). Extra point coming up here. Extra point is up and good. 14-7. That is, by the way, Matthew Wright is the kicker for Carolina. If you don't know who that is, you have a life. I'm proud of you. It's a bad kicker right there. Well, I guess they have Ryan Fitzgerald to compete for the job, but still, it's not a very good group. All right. So Cowboys up by 7. We're going to see some 2-minute action work. Here's a good drive by Carolina. That strike to Thielen was insane, and Hubbard ran all over him. Kick is away. Turpin and Blue back deep on the return. This is Turpin. He's going to get absolutely nowhere. Gets to about the 25-yard line. So that is where Dallas will head out on offense. Javonte Williams, 43 yards and a score on the day. Pickens has a TD as well. People correctly mad about the run defense. That's realistic, though, right? Aren't we worried about that? I am. And also, it's a lot of outside runs. Very realistic. Shotgun set for Dak and the Cowboys offense. 1:12 to go in the first half. Prescott throws, quick one, caught by Ferguson. They only pick up 2, and that's going to take up a bunch of time. They're not going to get this ball snapped to like 50 seconds based on the way that the Madden... Oh, they called timeout and wasted 2 seconds to do it. Okay. Timeout by not Schottenheimer. 14-7. Cowboys up. They have scored on both of their drives. Carolina has scored on one of their 2 drives. I blame me for saying the Cowboys had more points than the Panthers had yards. Hand up accountability. 2nd and 8. Prescott against the blitz. It's a screen. Caught by Williams. Williams is going to pick up about 5. I only give him 2? What? Looked like more than 2 yards to me. Clock is ticking now in 3rd and 6. A lot of questionable play calling here by Schottenheimer. 30 seconds to go now in the half. 2 timeouts for Dallas. Dak drops back. Throws off balance. Caught. It's Pickens. He's loose to the 45. Dallas calls a timeout. 21 seconds and 1 timeout left. You might be able to get into field goal range at least here. Kind of right on the edge. You're in it. You're in it. That's a fun thing to say for Brandon Aubrey. You get to midfield. You're kind of in field goal range. You need a 1st down and a half. Probably trying to get it just closer into field goal range here. Dak drops back. Downfield. Got a man. It's Pickens. He's going to score. George Pickens. A 45-yard touchdown from Prescott. Just went right by the defense and does the stanky leg. Dallas scores. Spam those TDs. The offense is dealing right now. I didn't know Madden had the stanky leg in the game. That is electric. That was a dart. That's the thing I've noticed. Like, they don't do arcing deep shots. They do bullet deep shots. So you have to get behind them completely. One of the better Madden touchdowns I think I've seen so far, outside of like a pick 6 or something. Extra point from Aubrey, up and good. 20. I can't even tell if it was good or not. I'm just going to assume it was good. 21-7. Dallas up over Carolina. Great clock management right there. Took it all the way down like 15 seconds. Great job. Great job, guys. Great job. Carolina has all 3 timeouts. I doubt they'll be able to do much with it. How about the Cowboys offense? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. So kickoff coming up here. Aubrey's kick is away. Just bombs it out of the end zone. 1st and 10. I didn't get to do the 2-for-1 beer bong special. All right, it was a 45-yard touchdown. If we get one before the Cowboys' next offensive drive, 45 or above Super Chat, I'll do 2 beer bongs. Fair? Doesn't mean get to do the 2-for-1 red zone special. Panthers going to run the ball here. Hubbard's going to pick up 5, and that will end the first half. Cowboys 21, Panthers 7. Carolina will get the ball to begin the second half of action. So the special offer right now, 45 or above dollars Super Chat. I will do 2 beer bongs, available until the next Cowboys drive or Carolina scores. It'll go away then. So $20 for a shot. I will do a 2-for-1 shot special because we have not done one of those yet. 45 or above is 2 beer bongs. The special $45 price tag for the George Pickens score. $500 Venmo. I'll rock your custom Cowboys jersey. You pick the name, the number. I'll wear it throughout the year. Ship it out to you at the end of the season. $5 into our George Pickens jersey raffle. $10 for 3 Pickens jersey raffles. Entries and the $20 Venmo for the 50-50 raffle. So Cowboys 21, Panthers 7. Carolina gets the ball to begin the half. As long as this drive is ongoing, we'll offer up the 145 for 2 beer bong special to celebrate the 45-yard George Pickens touchdown right there. Carolina ball coming up here. Kickoff is away from Brandon Aubrey. Raheem Blackshear at his own 4-yard line will bring it out for Carolina. And Blackshear's going to get to about the 38 and taken down there. So Young and the offense coming up for Carolina. They've got 3 drives, but not really. One of them was 1 play, 11 seconds. Call it a 50% actual drive scoring ratio there. Yeah, 45, 2-for-1. $45 Super Chat or above, as long as this drive is going on for Carolina. Young under center. Hubbard behind him. Gets the handoff left. Cuts it back. A ton of room to run. And he picks up 13 on that one. First down, Carolina. Boy, Hubbard looks good today. A lot of yards on the ground for Chuba Hubbard. Could have been Chuba Hubbard if you pronounced it the fun way. But that's okay. From the 43, well, just shy of it, actually. Young in the shotgun set will motion in. Has time, throws it, caught, and a tackle broken, and a bunch more picked up. JT Sanders, the tight end on that one. Panthers now in Carolina territory. Panthers offense showing life here, fighting down by 14. 1st and 10 here. Still early in the third quarter. Weird motion there. I said he was running. Young throws off balance and gets it away incomplete. Tommy Tremble was running like this. Daniel, run defense, where do you think the Cowboys will go? I think you can get a DT. I would explore it. The options are not good in free agency. It's like Linval Joseph is your best bet. So I would explore it, but you might have to wait till closer to roster cutdown time. Or go trade for someone. 2nd and 10, Young, slant route, caught. Good tackle there by Leofau. He loves the hit stick. It's all he does. 3rd and we'll say 9 coming up now. 3rd and 9. kind of, but maybe in field goal range for the Panthers kicker. Young, downfield, broken up and should have been picked. I can't be mad the Panthers dropped 2 on the same drive, but that one should have been picked. Fourth and 9 now. They're going to punt. I don't know about that one. See how many yards they get out of this one. High, short, punt out of bounds at the 23-yard line. They got 20 yards on that punt. Jeez. So Dallas out now on offense. The Super Chat menu, $5, George Pickens jersey raffle. $10 to get 3 entries. $20 Venmo at What Going Down. You're in for our off-season 50-50 raffle. $20 for a shot. First one is 2 shots. First 20 is 2 shots. $50 for the beer bong. We are now, the $45 offer is gone. $500 Venmo for the custom Cowboys jersey. I'll rock it like I am right now and then give it to you at the end of the season. First and 10. Prescott drops back to pass. Throws. In the dirt. Incomplete. That one was just shorted. I think Pickens was the intended target. So 2nd and 10 now for the Cowboys offense. Been about 3 balls that should have been picked off today between these 2 teams. Prescott under center. Hands it off to Williams gets, they're going to give him 2 on that one? And I don't know about that. It didn't seem like 2. So 3rd and 8 for Dallas. Type in those 3s. Prescott barking out signals at the line. Dak under pressure, rolling right, just going to throw it away. There was not much of a chance of anything on that one as the pressure got home pretty quickly. That was Patrick Jones, the edge rusher for Carolina. And Dallas will have to punt a very quick 3-and-out there. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and a very quick 3-and-out. Anger's punt is away. Blackshear at his own 34 will get to maybe the 35. And Carolina, still down 2 scores, will come back out on offense. How about the game from Chuba Hubbard? 7 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown. I don't really know why Rico Dowdle also went in on the huddle there, but that's fine. Haven't seen much from Tedero McMillan today. Extremely quiet, which I think normally means that's who DaRon Bland is on. If you notice that, teams are not throwing at Bland. Even in the video game, they're not looking his way at all. Young with some motion. Going to give it again to Hubbard. Micah will bring him down from behind. It is a 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7 for Carolina with 4:15 to go in the 3rd quarter now. Cameron, whatever jersey you want to buy, we'll do it for you. It's the $500 Venmo. I think he's kind of mostly trolling because I like Cam in. Quick one to Thielen, missed tackle, picks up the 1st down. That's Izzy Mukwamu in coverage. First down, Carolina. I don't know why I took this on to realize it's not Kamen, it's just Cam in AZ everywhere. Embarrassing for me. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line for Carolina. High snap, Young corrals it, throws over the middle, caught. Sanders picks up the 1st down, and Carolina's marching now. 1st and 10. They are now at the 42. That's where they got last time, and then chose to punt. Young in the shotgun. They're going to motion over J.T. Sanders from left to right. Now he's kind of the outside receiver. It's a quick one caught by Tommy Tremble, who picks up 9. It's a fun design there, kind of almost a screen to Tremble. 2nd and 1 from the 33. Cowboys kind of shifting that defense late. Looks like zone. Give it to Hubbard. Guess what? A big hole, enough for a first down. Leofau brings him down again, but that'll be 1st and 10 Carolina, ball at the Cowboys' 29-yard line. It's a 2-score Cowboys lead. Shotgun set for Young. Cowboys showing a blitz. They drop it. Give it to Hubbard. Hubbard will pick up 6. Dante Fowler brings him down from behind as it feels like it's a bad Mozzie Smith game to me. Just like getting kind of blown off the line a little bit. So at least I'm going to blame the DTs when there's a lot of inside runs up the middle, picking up big gains. 2nd and 4 now. Young drops back. Check down to Hubbard. Hubbard is going to break a tackle. He broke Damone Clark's tackle. The linebacker's got a breather. And it's a first down pickup for Hubbard. Cowboys are 5-0 in the sim. Carolina is 2-3. It is 1st and 10 inside the red zone here. Young with heavy personnel in the game. Gives it up the middle to Williams. Doesn't get much. A great tackle there again by Maurice Leofau. A gain of 2. 2nd and 8. Inside of 50 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Probably 4-down territory for Carolina. At least if they get to the 4th quarter when the AI resets its logic. Handoff to Hubbard. Hubbard's going to get 4. Sanborn in on the tackle, that one. 3rd and 4. Carolina doesn't have to run a play, but they almost assuredly will here. 3rd down. Panthers got to get to the 7. They're at the 11. Young in the shotgun. Motion coming. That's Tremble, the tight end. Young will drop back. Looking, throwing into the end zone, caught, touchdown Carolina with an extremely late hit as DaRon Bland brings down after the touchdown catch, Teteroa McMillan. T-Mac on the end zone, into the end zone for the score. His only catch of the day, and it's a touchdown against the team that wanted to jump. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw the report. The Rams were trying to move up for him, apparently. That's who they wanted this year. Not a tight end. They wanted T-Mac. Really weird. Kick is up and good. The Rams have gone for different playmakers each year. I find it very, very curious. 21-14. You say that's who they wanted. I could see a report of like Carolina thought they were taking McMillan, but they actually wanted like Loveland or something. Panthers score. It is back to a 1-score game. 21-14 with seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Kick is away. Brought out by Turpin. Turpin going to get to the 30 and past it to the 34. One of his longer returns of the season. From the 34. Prescott drops back, throws, caught by Lamb. He's going to pick up 8 on that one. Been a strong day for CeeDee Lamb. So ends the 3rd quarter. A reminder of the Super Chat menu. $5, you're in to our George Pickens jersey raffle. $10 is 3 entries into the George Pickens jersey raffle. $20 for the Venmo 50-50 raffle. $20 for a shot. First 20, I'll do 2 shots. Haven't had a 20 yet. 2 shots on that one. $50 for the beer bong. $500 Venmo for the custom Cowboys jersey. I'll wear it. You pick the name, the number. We'll give it to you at the end of the season. So Cowboys now in 2nd and 2. I-form set. It's a give to Williams up the middle, making a man miss. Picks up about 6 on that one for a first down. Type in those ones. Did you like how Booker and Lamb did that in sync? They did the same celebration in sync. That's kind of embarrassing. And Daniel, yes, you've got multiple entries, my friend. I got you covered on the tracker. Prescott in the shotgun. Drops back. Swings it out. Caught again by Lamb for very minimal gain. They'll give him 1 on that one. So 2nd and 9. I feel like a touchdown, maybe even a field goal, would be enough to put this game away for the most part. Even with the Cowboys defense, it's been the run defense has been bad. Get two scores in the fourth quarter. It's tough to recover that, get to pass it. Javonte up the middle, picks up 6-ish on that one. 3rd and 3 coming up here for the Cowboys on offense. 6 minutes to go. Type in those 3s. From the 46-yard line, kind of in field goal range now. Prescott drops back, throws, caught by Ferguson for a first down and more to the 30-yard line. A gain of 13. Fergie on the drag, delivers again for a first down. Type in those ones.
Who needs Kyle Pitts?
Yeah, exactly. Just a simple drag route. Good 10 yards after catch as well from Fergie on that one. Now well within field goal range. 5:40 to go in the ball game, excuse me. Prescott in the shotgun, 2x2 set, drops back. And that one should have been a pick 6. That is such a bad throw. It's not even remotely close. That was so bad it was behind the defensive back. 4 throws in this game between the two QBs that should have been pick 6s, or at least intercepted. It's a Winston-esque throw. They give it to Blue on 2nd and 10. He picks up 2. 3rd and 8. That might have been the worst throw I've seen Dak make in the game. Like, that was so bad it was okay. It was behind the defensive backs. 3rd and 8. Prescott against the blitz. Throws off balance. Caught. It's Pickens again. Inside the 10. 1st and goal from the 7 as George Pickens makes another huge play. Get that off balance, finding Pickens over the middle for a first down pickup. Pickens has 2 TDs on the day. Williams has the other. Cowboys with 4:45 to go should bleed more clock and not snap it with 18 seconds left. It's exactly what they do. Prescott throws left, caught by Ferguson, who goes out of bounds, and that's going to stop the clock for a little bit. They pick up a bunch. 2nd and goal from the 3, now forthcoming. So horrendous clock management here. Stops the clock at 4:33. Javonte, the single back from the 2.5. Dak drops back, throws to Ferguson. Inbounds, doesn't get much. 3rd and goal from the 3. I don't get that. Why wouldn't you just run the ball there and go chew clock? Let's see if they go chew clock here or not, because they've wasted a good minute, frankly. They will not go chew clock. Pistol set. 3rd and goal from the 2.5. Prescott gives it. Javonte is taken down at the 1. What do you do here? Do you go for it to take the easy field goal? Chris wants to go for it. Yeah, make him drive 99 yards. Javonte is a yard shy. Let's see what the Cowboys offense does. Probably not bleed clock. They're going to kick a field goal. This is as short as humanly possible. It's an 18-yard try. Aubrey makes it. It is a 2-score game. 3:38 to go. Are they cowards? Yes or no? I think if they weren't up by 7, they would have gone for it. Absolutely. Madden Logic, says Logan. It is a 10-point Cowboy lead. Inside of 4 to go. Almost 3.5. It is a two-score lead for Dallas. Aubrey's kick is away. Blackshear from his own 5 will get stood up just past the 25. They'll mark him at the 28-yard line. That is with the Panthers offense. Come on. Hubbard's got 79 yards in his score on 12 carries, but they're down by 2 scores. They have to throw now. Dying at Ogwan's super comment. When Mercury is in retrograde, there's an 18.7% chance of converting the 4th down attempt. That's why he kick it, per the analytics. 1st and 10, Carolina. Young will drop back. Feeling the pressure, throws downfield. Diving catches made by Leggett. And Carolina now at their own 48-yard line. 3:28 to go, 1st and 10. Daniel wants to challenge it. Looks like a catch to me. Ball now just shy of the 48, actually. Young in the shotgun. Will drop back. Throws. Caught by McMillan. His second catch of the game. Panthers now in field goal range. 1st and 10. Ball at the Cowboys' 41-yard line. Carolina's marching here. They go no huddle. Per the graphic, not the animations. Young has time. Now flushed. Rolling. Micah brings him down. He does pick up 2 yards. The clock will run, though. 2:45 to go. Shotgun set. Young. Feeling the pressure. Tucking. Running. Gonna get the 1st down. Wilson helps make the tackle. It is another 1st down for Carolina. 1st and 10. Ball to 26-yard line. They can get at least one more play before that 2-minute warning. Young barking out signals. Gets the snap off before the 2-minute warning. Throws. Caught. 1st down, Carolina. Leggett makes the grab. And it is 1st and 10, Carolina. Inside of the 2-minute warning. Ball at the 16 here. That was Mozzie who could not chase down Bryce Young, which I think actually is fairly realistic. There's like a 150-pound difference almost. Young. Throws. Caught, hit hard, clock will run, 2nd and 5. Vic the Slick, shot time. We'll do it after this drive wraps up. Panthers going no huddle from the 10. Young, feeling the pressure, throws it. Incomplete. I thought that was caught for a second. Did not get the foot in bounds, so say the officials. 3rd and 5. From the 10, it's really 4.5. Young drops back, throws out route, caught at, dropped it. Savone Revel laid the lumber on McMillan. He could not make the catch. He wants a flag, which is nonsense. And I assume a field goal try coming up here for Carolina, and then a kicker and onside try. So right from 27-ish yards, that is good. 24-17. Vic the Slick, $20 says 6-0. A man can dream, can he? Imagine how high the vibes would be if this team was actually 6-0. One shot. I got maybe one more shot left in there. Cheers. So we'll see if it's an onside kick or regular kick here. Did the Cowboys kicking off? That's so weird. Onside kick try. Fielded by the Cowboys at the 47-yard line. Marquise Bell makes the grab. I'm feeling 5, Daniel. Everyone's scared to make me do beer bongs for $50. Everyone's scared. Everyone's scared. So Carolina does have all 3 timeouts here. Dak and his Madden nonsense continues. 21 of 26. 3 of those should have been picked. Sure, they'll go run here. First and 10. I-form set for Javonte Williams. Hand off to Javonte. He picks up 5 on that one. Timeout Carolina, 1:12 to go now. A first down would effectively ice it. I-form. They give it to Williams. He's loose, 30, 25-20. Taken down at the 15-yard line. Javonte Williams, 15 carries, 91 yards. And now the Cowboys can simply kneel it out. But will they? Carolina's got 1 timeout left. They go to kneel down formation. They do. Timeout Carolina. But 2 kneel downs will ice it. We'll see if they do it. They're prone to kicking field goals on 4th down for no reason in this game. But even this one, chew clock twice, we'll put it in there. It shouldn't be an issue. 2nd and 11. Formation is the victory formation. Dak kneels down again. In theory, they'll do it one more time. Do chew clock. Ecuadorian, what's the spread? I said like 6.5, but that felt kind of low for a 5-0 team. So maybe it's like 8.5. One more kneel down, in theory, will end this game. Now, what they'll probably do is bring out Aubrey on the field goal unit. Will they snap it or not? Which only adds bad things if it's blocked somehow. Let's see. They got the field goal unit lined up. There's 5 seconds left. 4. They're going, oh my God, they're kicking a field goal. Shotty's betting on the games, man. It's good. It's 27-17 as this time expires. That's like 3 times they've done that this year. Running plays in this scenario. It doesn't make any sense. Why is the game coded that way? Why? Tell me. Give me one reason why it's coded that way. Cowboys win 27-17. Improve to 5-0. I'll let Chris give some shout-outs. Your one-word reaction as I take off the jersey for the Week 6 Madden Sim. So stupid.
All right, get your one-word reactions in. We'll give some shout-outs here. We're also about to do a mailbag as well, so you guys can use hashtag Cowboys to get your questions in as well. Comments, whatever you guys want to talk about. Robert Simmons saying Super Bowl. That's bold. Let's see, Ratio said scuffed. Video game, covered. Covered's a good one. Mike says unbelievable. Meh from Daniel. Stupendous. That's always my favorite word in the one-word reactions is when people say stupendous. See a nice in there. Meow.
Someone clip that.
What?
Clip you going, meow.
Meow.
I'm all set.
All right.
What a game. What a nonsense ending. It's just like, again, they just do something stupid like kick a field goal for no reason. They're just trying to run up the score, man. It's like 3 games they've done that this year. I think it was Giants, Bears, and Panthers they've done that in. All right, one-word reaction. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. We will also have a mailbag here on the Cowboys Report. 2 ways to get on said mailbag. Use hashtag Cowboys or skip the line altogether via a super chat. Been a couple of those that came in during our Madden watch party or live sim, whatever you want to call it. Questions, thoughts, comments, ideas, concerns. Need a therapist but for free. Hashtag Cowboys or super chat to get on the show. It has to be Cowboys. I don't think we're legally allowed. Well, probably don't think legally, but like I don't know if Chris is going to pick your therapy focused questions there. So get them in. Say what, Chris? Maybe. Get your comments, questions in via hashtag Cowboys or super chat to skip the line altogether. Guarantee that you get on the show. OTAs underway for the Cowboys. Another open practice tomorrow, and then they got one more on the 5th. And then they are done until minicamp, 3 days. They'll probably have 2 actual days of it. And then into training camp in late July. And then you got that weird down period. There's not a lot going on beyond that. So questions, comments, thoughts, whatever it is, get them in via hashtag Cowboys, or you can skip the line altogether with that super chat. As soon as Chris gives me the all clear, he's good to go. We will get to all of your questions and comments. There are some super thanks as part of today's show as well. See some from Daniel, and I guess both Daniels have questions. It's not throwing me off for a loop at all there. So get them in, hashtag Cowboys, or skip that line via a super chat. We got a $5 super thanks to get things going from Wendell Palmer. Just says thanks. Appreciate that, Wendell. You're very kind. This does get Wendell in to the George Pickens jersey raffle. Any $5 super thanks, or of course super chat during our live shows, will get you in to the off-season George Pickens jersey raffle. As of filming, we still don't know what the number actually is right now. $5 super chat from Daniel. Daniel R. There's a Daniel M. too. I think Cowboys. Do you think the Cowboys pick up a corner? I think they should bring back Gilmore. I wouldn't be shocked if they did. I think this is probably more of a training camp time move. They've done that before. They went out and got DTs last year when they went, oh, Mozzie and the 7th round pick bunch isn't going to work, which is also exactly where they still are. So let's see how that plays out. I think corner is still an area, depending on what the nickel room looks like. What does Savone Rebels' health look like? I have question marks about the cornerback group. I think Dallas is going to want to let the first 2 weeks or so of camp play out, and then they'll make a decision. But it is something that should be on their radar. Absolutely. Javonte Johnson, would you trade Dak if we don't at least go to the playoffs this year? And there's a lot to figure out why you did make the playoffs, right? So, is the defense terrible? Is it a Joe Burrow Bengals situation last year where the quarterback plays great, the defense is bad? Then no, you're not going to trade him. Is it, did Dak get hurt again? Well, then maybe no one wants to trade for him. Is it, very clearly just a bad head coach? It's tough to blame the QB there. Even if it is Dak's fault, you have one big issue. A big contract for a new team to take on, and you're eating almost $90 million in dead money. I think the far more likely outcome here, regardless of how things play out this year, is Dallas should adopt an approach of go win games now. Try to set up this kind of in the middle of this kind of 3-4-ish year window, and if it doesn't work, actually rebuild. Bottom out. So you haven't done a real rebuild in a very long time, frankly. Not just the QB got hurt, we had a bad year. I would consider a real rebuild then. Bottom out, get an early draft pick. Whenever you want to do that, whatever you're paying the quarterback doesn't matter at that point. It kind of is, it's a moot point because you're not trying to win games. Who cares if you're eating a bunch of big money? That's fine. So I would have to see how the year plays out, but the answer almost surely is no, probably not. From Thor, at what point would you consider a Micah Parsons trade? If you get to like next off season and there's still no deal done, like that's when you would consider it. I would be surprised if we got to week 1 and there was no deal done. Like I would actually be very, very surprised. I don't think they're that far off. It's just somehow, some way, this always happens with Dallas, where the top end players end up waiting, which is frustrating to me. I would not. I think it's really hard to find, mid-20-year-old players who are top 5 at this point in their career in sacks. I think that's really hard to find. I would just pay that guy. What would you do, though, with Micah Parsons? P for pay, T for trade. Let me know in the comments. It's the pinned comment, actually, of today's show. Zion, what is the possibility of us letting go of Steele if he has a down year and we draft yet another lineman in the first round? So I would say you're probably going to make the call on Terrence Steele before the draft. And if Steele has a down year, I think he's gone for sure. If Terrence Steele, as the Cowboys think, hope, expect, if he does not bounce back this year, see ya. They can save almost $9 million with a pre-June 1st cut, $14 million after June 1st. Like I would say it is highly likely that they say, we're going to just let him go. Like there's no more guarantee money on his deal. If Steele's not good, I think he's gone. And then right tackle could be very much, or I guess left tackle too, potentially, which one to do with Guyton, is very much in play as a round 1 option again. Mike, what positions should we shore up going into camp? Again, I don't know if they will, but the spots that I would want to see how things look early on in training camp are, I want to see how the defensive tackle room looks like. I want to see how the cornerback, outside and inside, looks like. I can't get a good feel for my backs until camp, but that's an area. Any injuries that happen, maybe linebacker. I think you have to be aware of, okay, you've got some question marks, especially on defense at like DT and corner with guys not healthy yet. You got to be willing to go add a cheaper 1-year vet to shore things up. I think corner, DT, maybe running back are kind of the top 3 areas. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. It is the best place to turn your sports knowledge into cash. With millions of members, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. If you know ball, there's only 1 series left in the playoffs, and the championship is officially on the line. Got to get going with Prize Picks while you still can for basketball. Season-long football also available. I've got CeeDee Lamb more than 7.5 receiving touchdowns. Breece Hall, less than rushing yards. Dak Prescott, more than 23.5 passing touchdowns. I think that is a very good spot to be in. Go download the Prize Picks app today over at prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. All right, Daniel M. I believe the Cowboys are not done making moves. I'm a little surprised Ferguson hasn't said anything since the Pickens trade. Could they be working on another trade? Well, what do you expect them to say? I don't really think they're actively working on stuff. I think they are aware of what they might need to go work on if something doesn't turn out very well, but I don't think that's a likely, I don't think they're actively on a Jalen Ramsey trade. Be fun to be wrong on that one. I think they're aware, hey, we might need to go get a DT, a corner, a back, something later on in camp, but there's not much going on. They don't have press conferences right now. There's not a spot for them to say a whole lot at the moment. William Cook, what impact does Barkley being on the Madden cover have on the NFC East? First off, William, thank you very much, my friend. In general, the so-called Madden curse, I would actually argue, is predominantly just regression to the mean. Who here thinks pre-Madden cover that Saquon Barkley was going to go for 2,000 yards this season? There's a pretty good long list of data that when you get a massive workload in one year, the next year in the backfield, you get hurt or you're not as good. That's just how football tends to work. So I don't think the cover has any impact. But if you're a betting man, the odds of the Eagles not being as good are pretty high because that would be a repeat otherwise. Like, that's kind of where you're at this time. It's just, I don't think he'll be as good this year. He can still have a 600-yard season and not be as good this year. It's probably what it's going to be. Ferdinand Hunt, would you trade for Breece Hall? I put him on my list. Like, I can check in again in early August. I don't get it from the Jets' perspective very much. Like, Braylon Allen was not that great last year, frankly. And now bad supporting cast, sure. But Hall was clearly better from an efficiency standpoint. Isaiah Davis, put him on your list. I have doubts about the Jets side of it. Do you want the Cowboys to add another running back? Y for yes, N for no. Donnell, Texas Wolf Graves. Hey, Tom, what Cowboys players from the 2000s would you have liked to seen on the 90s teams? Ooh, that's a fun question. I always look at, like, guys I felt bad that weren't good enough to, like, make a lot of stuff. And I'm going, like, early 2000s for this one. I think, like, imagine if that 90s Cowboys team, instead of the LaFleur disaster pick at tight end, what if they got prime Jason Witten? Or they threw that guy on the roster? What if they added, like, DeMarcus Ware to that defense somehow? I'm thinking of, like, guys that, like, I felt bad didn't get a ring. Sean Lee, Zach Martin, Tyrants with, like the best of the bests to make that 90s team even better, even if it wasn't maybe the biggest need. King Xbox, who is the best player in the next draft class? Is it Caleb Downs, the safety? Safeties aren't valued like that, though. That's the Ohio State safety. Clemson's got two incredibly good front four players, Peter Woods and TJ Parker, right? Yeah, TJ Parker. There's some intriguing quarterbacks. I think Jeremiah Love is the best running back, but I don't think he's the best player in the class. Caden Proctor might have a breakout year at tackle. Utah's got two good tackles, but I think defense is a bit heavier this upcoming season. Chandler Freeman, how about a David Njoku trade? The best version of David Njoku, even like the more recent best version of Njoku, I think it is better than what the Cowboys have seen so far from Jake Ferguson. The Browns could very well be in a time to tear it down mindset. Like 2023, Njoku was still very good. He's due a decent chunk of change. He's not 30, I don't think, yet, though. I'm pretty sure he's only like 29 years old, which is kind of crazy about how long he's been in the NFL. I have my doubts that they're going to go pursue a tight end. I think that they have hope in Ferguson. So I wouldn't, unless it's super cheap, I would not assume a tight end trade happens. So name a player who you want to trade for. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Name a player who you want the Cowboys to go trade for. From Rogue, do you think that if our backs are bad in camp, a Jerome Ford trade could happen? That's a good name. The Browns drafted two backs. Ford has been goodish, not great. He's pretty affordable. He's cheap. I think he actually would be available. It's not an extreme needle mover, but if your running backs are bad, like I think that's a good option. So I think that is a very logical option there, Rogue. And we'll see if it actually happens, but like if you're building out your lists, so to speak, it's a good name to have on there. If you guys want more free Cowboys YouTube videos, hit that sub button. youtube.com/CowboysTV. From DKK, odds that Milton is the number 2 over Greer, or is there someone else to be brought in? I think you could have like a hybrid number 2 in the sense that like if Dak goes down for the season, knock on wood, Milton has a better shot to play. But the game day inactive or game day QB2 might be Greer. Remember, the backup quarterback job isn't actually to be the 33rd through 65th best QB in the NFL. It's not actually what it is. It's to be the best backup for your starter. In most cases, there are exceptions, like if there's a battle or something there. Like when you have an entrenched starter, you normally want someone who will do the stuff during the week to make life easier on your head coach, your play caller, your quarterback, to help him out, to be almost a vibes guy at times, to be a good like assistant to the QB almost at times. And I think Dallas likes that about Will Grier. There's a good relationship there between the head coach and backup and starter and head coach, and then you kind of allow Milton to be the developmental guy. I would have real doubts about Will Grier playing a 5-game stretch this season. I think the Cowboys are a bit more confident in Grier than maybe I am. So should we do a second mailbag on today's video? Let me know in the comments section. Y for yes, N for no. I will say one thing too, Daniel, just to follow up to your other comment. I think the Cowboys are always pretty quiet around this time of the year. Like there's not a lot that they're saying or doing. That's how the vast majority of NFL teams operate. I think they're always pretty quiet around this time with what they're saying and what they're doing too. That's how a lot of teams end up operating. So, second mailbag, Y for yes, N for no. I'm good, Chris. You good, Chris? Do another one? You know what? All right. Might need some more questions. So Chris is asking for more questions if we're going to do it. So get him in. Hashtag Cowboys or skip the line altogether via a super chat. I've seen some good comments and ideas and theories, but if you're not using that hashtag Cowboys, producer Chris can't find them. And we've been live for an hour and a half. There's a lot of comments that just get buried all the way through. So get your questions in via hashtag Cowboys or skip the line altogether via super chat. That's hashtag Cowboys or the super chat to get in on the show. There you go, Danelle. I like that one there. There you go. Hashtag Cowboys, skip the line via super chat. Danelle's got a fun one. Got a couple good ones actually in there from Danelle. Toxic Tom's calling him Thrill Greer. It's something all right when he's out there. Got like Mahomes' mindset, but not the talent to make it work. It's kind of chaotic out there. Maybe we'll have a good preseason game. I think it'll actually be a lot of Joe Milton. I think we'll have I think we're gonna have a great Joe Milton preseason game and a bad Joe Milton preseason game. One that's like good and bad. That's kind of my guess. But then again, it's all very like vanilla defenses in the preseason, so it makes things a lot easier in the end. So second mailbag coming up. Get your questions in via hashtag Cowboys or by super chatting right now. Got a $10 super thanks from Zach Crosby. So I asked your thoughts on the Pickens trade a few months ago, and it came to be. So my question now is, how awesome will the Super Bowl parade be? I am absolutely delusional, but desperate times call for desperate measures. I appreciate that, Zach. In theory, it is an incredible party, and I don't remember any of it. That's my mindset there. So appreciate that, Zach. This came in via a super thanks. Every $5 plus additional increments, obviously, gets you in to our George Pickens raffle. Super chats, of course, also work quite well. You get your super thanks or super chats in for the George Pickens raffle. I'm going to give you a shout out on the live show as well. Ogon, is that how I pronounce it? A-W-G-A-W-N. Maffa will be the primary back by midseason. I would be surprised. It's not impossible, but I don't even want to put that like expectation on Phil Maffa. Like his goal is to make the roster. His skill set sets up pretty well as an early down runner. He battled through some injuries last year. I think kind of limited some of the explosive playability. Matches up very well with Jaden Blue, but I don't think we should ever put any expectations of a 7th rounder of he's the starter. even at a spot like a running back or a DT. I think that's asking for a lot. Also, remember this time last year when Jerry Jones was saying we were in a soft rebuild? Jerry then very quickly walked that back. And that was mid-season, by the way. That was almost one of those, like, he said that they were, and then he, like, backed it up later and said soft rebuild is not, which, like, I almost wonder if, like, somebody was in the room with him and said, Jerry, you just agreed to a soft rebuild. Can you not say that that's the case? Which, like, let's be honest, they weren't all in last season. It wasn't even a soft rebuild. It was like a, Mike, go prove me wrong. Like, it was almost like a vindictive, petty thing. Like, go prove him wrong type of deal. Charlie Bell, why not sign Von Miller finally? You don't need an edge. I have a tough time, like, the 90-man is easy. Who on your 53-man roster are you making room for to cut to add Von Miller? Mike is not going anywhere. Fowler's not going anywhere. You just drafted Donovan Ezeraku. Marshawn Nealon's not going anywhere. He was just a second-round pick. They signed Peyton Turner this offseason. Sam Williams is an option coming off the injury, but, like, does Von Miller want to come be edge 4? I don't know if that's what he's searching for. Plus, you've invested in all those guys. Do you want to pay more than the vet minimum? Does Von Miller want more than the vet minimum? Probably. It's like I don't think the timing works out the way it could have worked out previously. But you guys can be the GM here. It's a big name, obviously. Would you add Von Miller? Y for yes, N for no. William Cook, who is the swing tackle at this time? Great question. And specifically for Dallas, might not be one guy. Hakeem Adeniji has played all over the offensive line, so is Sadiq Charles, but they're not even guaranteed a roster spot, so I would be hesitant to give them the swing tackle job. I think the first tackle, in theory, off the bench would be Awesome Richards, but he hasn't played right tackle, really. So Ajani Cornelius could be the first guy at right tackle, or Matt Let's-Go, but those guys haven't played much left tackle. So it might be a spot where they carry 4 offensive tackles. One to back up left and one to back up right. But we'll see how things play out at training camp and when guys get some more situational rotation stuff that they've done a little bit of at OTAs, but haven't seen fully unveiled. Donnell, Texas Wolf Graves. Chance the Cowboys grab Tommy Mella, touchdown Tommy from the Raiders. I would say low. He's not going to play quarterback in the NFL, and he was drafted in the 7th round by the Raiders. That is touchdown Tommy. He's going to be a receiver for them. He was a 6th-round pick, actually, so maybe he gets cut. It seems a semi-unlikely, but I think he's a receiver. The Raiders keep him, and they try to make him into Edelman 2.0. From Bentley Hale, cut Wilson Rooker and sign Justin Simmons. So I actually get what you're going for there. I think you can make an argument you are both cheaper and better at safety if you do that. Now, I think that Simmons, for whatever reason, isn't as regarded as he was previously, which he's not the same guy, but why is he unsigned? Does Eberflus think he fits the system? Like, I kind of like it. It strikes me as a move the Cowboys would not make because they could have made that exact move months ago, but I like it. Like, I think you're better, and it might not be as expensive, frankly. So name a player who you want to sign. Any free agent, any position, let me know in the comments section of today's show. Daniel, this is the most quiet I've ever seen the front office in a long time. But there's nothing going on. Like, they're always quiet around this time. And they're not going to say anything until training camp. Like, the entire NFL, for the most part, is pretty quiet around this time. I would not read much into that. They're not doing weekly radio hits. Like, there's not a lot going on. It's OTAs. They let the head coach actually talk around then. So I would not read much into that. This Cowboys polo, though, is on sale. 40% off when you go to chatsports.com/Cowboys polo. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Should be a clickable link over there in the corner as well. It's chatsports.com/CowboysPolo. From Zion, what is your all-time Olympic flag football team? Okay, so you kind of want at quarterback someone who can buy time in the pocket but isn't actually going to scramble because you can't scramble the same way like you'd be accustomed to. So you want someone who's mobile but not like crazy stiff. So my first thought was Mike, but it's actually not who you're searching for. What you want is like a combination of like all of like peak athlete Drew Brees with his mindset later on, or peak Aaron Rodgers. That's actually I'm gonna go with peak Aaron Rodgers. I think that's who you want. Rushing, I feel like it's Barry Sanders. Like just incredible juke stick movement ability there. Receivers, take your pick of like all 5,000 guys that fit from that mindset. From a rusher perspective, I won't go everyone. You actually want like a blitzing safety. You want someone like this guy like almost like a Ronnie Lott, who like or like a Ronnie Lott and like a Charles Woodson and Deion Sanders and all these guys like, if you wanted to blitz Woodson, like he could probably do it, and Ronnie Lott could probably do it some. Like you kind of want some not pure. You don't want like a Von Miller. You want someone who's just like long. Like right now, like Kyle Hamilton would be perfect. Like that's kind of the mold you're searching for. Daniel, I've heard the Traylon Burks from the Titans against the Cowboys. Ignore it. It's not happening. I'm sure someone said that. It's not happening. It makes no sense for Dallas. They don't need Traylon Burks at all. Travis Etienne, maybe. Again, I think him and Breece Hall are a little bit more of like potential options in camp, but like the Jags would be willing. I don't know if anyone wants to pay ETN like the $6 million he's owed. That's an issue. Breece Hall, Jets might want to keep on to him. I do think DT and corner are also needs there. You guys get free Cowboys YouTube videos when you subscribe. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. From Dane Gilbert, does Paris Campbell make this team? My gut says no, but maybe on the practice squad. Here's I think this plays out in the wide receiver room. Pickens is making it. Lamb's making it. Turpin's making it. Tolbert is going to make it, barring something weird. Mingo's contract says he probably makes it too. Otherwise, you're kind of paying him to not be on your team. That leaves one spot at most. And that could be a Brooks, could be a Flanoy. Campbell could compete there. But I could see a scenario where Campbell makes the team's practice squad. And he's there as like Cavante Turpin insurance. Knock on wood, something happens to Turpin, Campbell can do some similar things if you want to keep those packages in your offense. So with Pickens now in tow, grade the Cowboys wide receiver room. A, B, C, D, or F? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Toxic Tom, who will be this year's Rico Gathers, TJ Vasher, Darius Jackson, Deuce Vaughn, this camp who fans will overrate like hell? The easy answer is always one of the receivers, right? One of the skill guys, like a Josh Kelly puts up some highlight reel grabs and then kind of disappears with the pads fully on in the preseason. Like, would that surprise very many people? I guess Deuce Vaughn's still there, so that could be an option too. All right, Matt. Will teams put their number one on CD or Pickens? Will the other always be a mismatch? I don't know how much there will be like shadowing. Lamb will play plenty in the slot. So the answer is probably based on the matchup. That's probably what ends up happening. Like when you're playing the Commanders, Lattimore might shadow, but he'll probably be more on Pickens because he does more outside corner stuff. When they're playing the Giants, depending on who you want to argue is the number one corner, whether it's Banks or Phillips, but like Banks is probably on the outside, Drew Phillips stays on the inside. Like that's kind of my gut. And Eagles, Quinyon probably plays on the outside, and maybe they let Cooper DeJean play more on nickel against Lamb. Like that's probably how it goes. It's probably a mismatch or a matchup-based thing, which may or may not be a mismatch option. Pin poll on today's show. Would you trade for Kyle Pitts? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments section of today's video. 62% say no in the pin poll. I agree. I don't think that happens. I don't think it should happen. I would not. It's too expensive for me. Too expensive for me. All right, the next live show will be on Monday. No live show on Thursday. My boy Mitch has his wedding weekend, so we're going to have some fun on that front. So taking Thursday off. We'll still have a video for you on Thursday. Videos throughout the week as well. Make sure, I should say, you guys are subscribed. We will have more news, updates, and everything else. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV.